Okay guys, this is a quick update for Bitcoin. So listen, I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to crash 50% in the next 9 to 12 days. I'm saying that within 9 to 12 days, I'm expecting the correction of at least 50% to begin. So I just want to make sure that's very clear and you understand that. So I'm going to give you key support resistance levels to pay attention to. I'm going to show you why I believe this is the case. I'm also going to give you bottom targets and dates for those bottom targets. Guys, if you appreciate this content and you like it, guys, leave me a like. I would really appreciate it. So smash up those likes, and if you do want to be notified on future videos, make sure you subscribe and take the notification bell. So I've been talking about this chart for quite a while. This was a video I put out on March 23rd. I said that when we hit this white line, I was going to short. I'll put a link up to this video now if you want to check it out. This is a published version of the chart. At the same time I put the video up, March 23rd. This published chart cannot be edited. Just want to show you how this played out. I said this is a point you short, and this blue ring is a point you long. You can see what happened. We came up and we hit that white line and we got rejected, and now we're currently holding support here. This is the same chart. This is published on March 26th. This is bars instead of line. And again, short. So when you hit this point, you short. And down here is where I said you would long. And you can see how this played out. You had multiple points to put in a short. This is the last point before we dropped, and you can see we're holding support on this blue ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days now we've held support. So we're going to cover this in detail. If you watched the last video I put out, I told everyone, you can see right here, this is April 13th. I said Bitcoin price pumping. I said long to 41,500. That target was hit. I said time to short. And I was telling you guys I had a lot of charts showing me that 41,500 was likely going to be strong resistance. I told you I exited my long, and I was waiting for this to roll over and come back down. And we did get rejected from this point. And in that same video, I told you where to put in your long, 39,672. I'll put a link up this video now if you want to check it out. And you can see how it played out. We got topped out right here at this ring. I'm going to show you this ring in another published chart as well. But 41,500 was where we got rejected, and where I said to come down, where we come down to 39,652. Right there, 39,672. We made contact right here. And 39,652, and then you see the next candle open right here at 39,762. So guys, what I'm saying, and let me just make this very clear. So there's two scenarios that can play out. One, you can see that this is very strong resistance here. We got rejected. So one, we could be in this pattern for a while. So you can see we've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars holding support on this blue ring. You see how important this ring is. So we could do something like this, right? And then we're getting close to the apex. This would be about 9 days. I expect us to drop. This also has to do with the stock market as well. The second scenario, and I mentioned in this previous video, is that if we get above and hold support around 41,500, I'll re-enter along up to this point. And as I've been talking about this for quite a while, every time we hit this white line, you put in a short. If you did that, you made a fortune. And on this one, you made a killing. So again, as I said, if we push straight up, the highest we can go is 44,120-ish before we come back down. I believe this line is the top. So if we do get above this point, at any point we make contact with this line, this is where you get out. So the last scenario is we push up, we hold support, we hit this point, I short, and then we just start consolidating until we get to the apex. That's about 12 days. So again, that's what I'm saying. Within 12 days, I'm expecting us to drop because I believe that this line is the top before we break this blue ring and capitulate. So that gives you the time frame. I will come back. I'm going to give you the bottom targets and the date I expect us to bottom, and I will give you key support and resistance levels on the other charts as well. So this ring right here that I was talking about, this white ring we got rejected recently, and right here, that is this same ring. You see this white ring right here. This is published on August 31st, 2021, just show you this white ring and how it played out. If you'll notice, and this orange ring is actually that blue ring I just showed you, but you can see we respected that ring again. We just got a perfect rejection here, 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 and where I told you to shorten that last video, that's where we got rejected, right, 41,500. In the last video, I was talking about the C1 chart and said if we came down a likely point to buy in, 39,541, 39,554, said this was in confluence with that blue ring. And you can, I also made a tweet about this. It said current key support and resistance levels to long and short. Look for confluence from matching support and resistance levels. 39,700 looks like a point, the strongest support level to if you want to put in a long. And that's what it's saying on the C1 chart, 39,693, and this is the blue ring at 39,679. Ideal point to put in a short. And I was giving you your support and resistance levels. This was resistance temporarily. We did push above it. That's I'm going to give you our support levels on those charts as well. Guys, by the way, if you want to access all these live charts, you can on my website. The link will be pinned in the first comment description. And if you use my Big Get affiliate link, that's also pinned in the first comment description as well. So this is that chart that I was talking about. You can see we came down, we found perfect support almost right here, 39,668, and we pushed up. You see currently we're getting rejected right here. So again, these charts are pinpoint accurate to know when to long and when to short. When we pushed up, that's what I was talking about. I had multiple charts, only 41,500. It was a lot of resistance, and likely we would come down, and we did. And this point I told you to long, and now currently this is our resistance we're watching to get above. So if we do get above that, your next resistance right above us is 41,152. This is a published version of C1 chart, just see how it played out. And I was kind of showing you, this is published on April 2nd. I was kind of showing you how I expected this to play out. This would be support and resistance. We'd break this point and drop. And you can see that it pretty much followed almost exactly. We had a little fake out to the upside. We dropped. We found support, perfect resistance. And this is that point where I said too long. You see this horizontal line moving up. And you can see this was this line coming down. Double support. And that's why I was saying that was an ideal point to enter your long right here. So again, we will cover support and resistance levels, guys. Again, I did release my trader name on in Discord and on Twitter, so you guys know my name to search for. I will be allowing you to copy trade me next week. But again, guys, the reason I use BitGet is because they are legal to use in the US, Canada, and Australia. You do not need a VPN to mask your IP address. So that is why I chose them in the first place. You can use up 125 times leverage. I do not go over 50. It depends on your risk tolerance trading. Guys, so pretty soon, I guess next week, I'll allow you copy trade me. So since my account's already set up and you guys know my name to search for me, all you'll have to do is just go up here, type in my name, and then you'll find me when I set up my trade. I will give everyone a heads up in Discord, Twitter, when I'm about to set up a trade so you can search for me and find me. But these are not me, guys. This is I'm just showing you how you'll be able to copy trade me on BitGet if that's something you want to do. And again, my BitGet affiliate link is pinned in the first comment in the description. Okay, so I was talking about the Dow Jones. This is the last video I put up, April 13th. I was saying that we probably would get... this is a falling wedge. If we push up, the next resistance for the Dow was around 34,685. So I was saying if we get rejected from that point, remember, guys, Bitcoin follows the indices. Indices up, Bitcoin up. Indices down, Bitcoin down. This is the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow. We did push up. I said this is the next resistance to watch. If it pushes up, it's possibly has some upside for Bitcoin. But you can see what happened. We did get topped out right at this point and got rejected. So I think we do have a lot of downside for the markets. That means we have downside for Bitcoin. As I talked about before, well, this is the H1 chart. We'll come back to this. I just wanted to show you this chart real quick. This is why, not just because I expect a lot of downside for the stock market, but because going back historically, you can see that you can't see it here because it's, I mean, the values are a lot lower. But every time, you can see right here in just recently, we had a cross. This is on the monthly, by the way. So this is the moving averages on the MACD. We had a cross here. Back in 2018, we had a cross right here. And notice, when this happens, we dropped. So in 2018, right, June 2018, we had a 50% correction when we had this cross, right? And this back here in 2014, right, this red line, I can zoom in on that and show you. Let me move this out of the way. You can see right here, we had a cross. I have to really zoom in to see it. When we had that cross on the moving averages on the monthly, we dropped 64%. So my point is, if the same thing plays out, we just had our cross recently, and you can see we're at support right now, so that means if we drop, just like back here, if we drop 64%, we drop 50.62%, and again, so if we drop at least equal to how much we dropped previously in 2014, 2018, that brings us down to the 300 weekly moving average. Again, a 50% drop, and I think that's potentially going to start within the next 12 days. So let me give you your key support and resistance levels to pay attention to. So we know on this chart right now, your strongest resistance right now to watch, if currently we're getting rejected here, we have to get above 40,453. I'll show you these smaller targets and other charts. But your most important resistance right now is 41,462. If we hit that point and get rejected, we're going to come right back down to this point, potentially 40,098. That's scenario one. If we get above 41,462, I'm going in on a heavy short whenever we make contact with this line. This line is at an angle, so it depends on when we make contact. I do believe this is the top to send us down to break this ring. And again, that's when we will capitulate. So before I give you this price targets, the smaller targets to swing trade, guys, let me show you why I believe that we are coming down. And again, guys, I'm telling you, I believe that these are the targets we will hit on these specific dates. I can get rid of this one and make this bigger so you can see it. So I believe that when we drop, and let me zoom out for you guys that haven't been following, the reason I believe this is the case, this is the M1 chart just to show you guys, and all of these lines are parallel. This was in 2013. Every time we hit resistance, 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 it flips as support. We bottom on that same trend line. That happened in 2013. And in 2017, the same thing happened. Resistance, 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 flips as support. We bottom on that same trend line. That happened to be at the 200 weekly moving average. If we come over here to 2014, if we can get my mouse working, 2014, same thing happened, and these lines are parallel. They match completely. Resistance, resistance, support, 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 and we bottom on that same trend line, happened to be 300 weekly moving average. So I believe the same thing is taking place right here. You can see that this was our resistance. Let me make these bars better. So right here was our resistance, right? Resistance, 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 resistance. We broke above it, held support. We hit this next fib channel line, got rejected. I believe we break this ring. We're coming down. So I believe on, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're going to crash 50% in the next 12 days. I'm saying that will initiate the crash of 50%, which will bring us down to 21,676-ish, and that will be potentially between the 3rd of June to potentially the 6th of June, so early June. And if that does end up breaking, I think the ultimate bottom will be right here, and this is around August 1st, and that's around 16,500. I believe that's where we're heading. And again, I only think that if 21,676 breaks, we're headed to 16,500. Otherwise, this could be the bottom. But I do believe that will be early June when that takes place. And within the next 12 days, I think that will begin. Let's see, let me go through this and make sure I want to give you all these price targets and these other charts. Okay, so this is the C1 chart. So again, you can see your current resistance right now is 40,416. Your next support level right here to catch the bounce, 39,847. If that breaks, guys, I believe that we're coming down. Your current resistance right now is 40,374. We get above that, the next point you potentially want to put in a short is 41,127. You've got a lot of resistance right here. This line right here is the same line we topped out at. Where's my price label here? Let me do this. Right here. 47,500, right? We got rejected. This same trend line is going to be a lot of resistance. So if we do push up, and I'd go in a heavy short at 41,347. If we do get above these resistance levels, guys, this line right here is the same line on this M1 chart. This right here. Again, that's where I go on a heavy short if we happen to get up this high. But that is that same line. That is this point right here, just to show you that target matches. So if we push straight up, we're talking about 44,000. Out here is 43,479. I do believe that's the ultimate top. And again, this shows you that's the potential pattern we're in right now. So either we break sooner, but again, within 12, it goes up to 12 days before the apex, and I think that's why I'll be breaking out at that point. Let's go on to these other charts, guys. So this is the H1 chart. So currently you can see, and this is very important, I'll explain why this is the case. Your current support right now on the H1 chart is 40,049. If that breaks, well, I look at the other charts. But if that does break, and we do break below that blue ring, which I think will begin the capitulation, your next point to catch a nice bounce will be right here, around 38,700. I did mention this on Twitter and Discord. And the reason I say that is because we are respecting these fib channel lines very well. Even though that would already be to the point where we start the capitulation, you will have bounces along the way. This is where I told you guys to buy in at 34,000. We found support here, so I do believe that even if once we get to this point, guys, it's too late. We're already coming down, but that I don't think I mean, you could still catch a nice bounce at 38,700, potentially push back up, get rejected at that blue ring, and then come down. But I will go on a long scalp trade, just a quick long from 38,700. But at this point, it's already too late. We're headed down. The next resistance level to watch on this chart is right up here at 40,000. We'll just call it 41,000. And then your next resistance level to potentially short is right here at 41,753, and then you will have very strong resistance up here, 43,000. And again, you can see how price respecting all these trend line or these fib channel lines. This is the C1BG chart. You notice that we got rejected. This is one of the charts I was referencing in the last video, why this is going to be very strong resistance. I mean, right here at 41,500, I had multiple charts showing me that was the top for a drop, and we came down. So if you push up, your next resistance on this chart to watch is right up here around 41,000. So I just want to give you those key support resistance levels to pay attention to. And guys, remember, I do believe that within the next, again, it's either going to be, if it's the first scenario, it's going to be in about before 9 days, and if we push up to around 43,000, then I believe within the next 12 days, we will start our capitulation to drop to the targets I just gave you. But guys, if you don't access these charts, website's opticrypto.com, link will be pinned in the first comment description, and if you want to use my Big affiliate link, that'll be pinned in the first comment description as well. Guys, that's it. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.